Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the Energy Table. My name is Orange. I'm here with my beautiful sisters. May you guys introduce yourselves. Hello.
So I am Tobisa Sotashe, aka Soso. Keen on the topic today. Looking forward to sharing what your thoughts are on it.
Hi, everyone. I am Shanice, a holistic beautician. And we're all present today.
Hi everyone, I am Lutuma Nondwe, and I'm here again, and I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. So today we're talking on a very sensitive topic. It's grief. Grief can be very vast. I'm gonna kick it in. I have been experiencing a grief regarding family member, which has made me understand the topic grief. And from there, there's so many ways to connect it, right? With friends, grief yourself, grieving dreams, aspirations, grieving expectations, things that become outdated. And then we attach that emotion of grief to it. So I just thought it's a beautiful, sacred topic to sit with your sisterhood, with your safe circles. So what better place than here with you guys? Thank you for coming through and being courageous enough to open up about this topic with me today. Yeah. So anyone would like to, anything on your minds to talk about when it comes to grief?
Mine is it's so like heavy to start with.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Let's get through
I
it.
think it is going to be.
Sorry. For me, my biggest experience with grief is losing my son to stillbirth in 2014, full term. Like, it was one of the most unexpected things ever. Like, I never would have imagined it. I didn't even know what it was until the day it happened. But with that being said, it's also been my biggest motivation to do better, be in the moment, understanding that nothing is guaranteed.
Yeah.
Sure.
And also that there's actually so many lessons in losing someone, because it all depends on when it happened, the circumstance, and you just reflect, and there's an understanding that comes if you don't bask in the negativity of the grief. So I learned a lot, and it's inspired me in ways that are unimaginable, and I don't think I would be the person I am today if that hadn't happened to me. So, yeah.
Beautiful.
You're a beautiful person.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's not easy as well to not bask in the negativity of it.
It's not at all. It took me a minute, but I think because I was so isolated at the time, I managed to be able to take lessons from it.
Yeah.
I remember someone actually said to me a couple of times, they were like, life goes on. And I was like, life goes on? What a thing to say to someone.
Sure.
But the fact of the matter is that life does go on, and it did go on. And I had my son already. And I remember when I used to go to therapy, I used to say, I don't have feelings of suicide because I don't want my son to say that he lost his mum when he lost his little brother. So that was my whole thing, like every week, because you have to fill out a sheet every week about how you're feeling over the past week and blah, blah, blah. And I didn't have any thoughts of suicide, but there were times when I'm like, why me? Why him? It could have been me, but I'm like, then what would have happened to my living son? You know? So yeah, I think it's worse to have a child with no parents than for a mother to lose a child.
Why?
I don't know if it's worse.
And I feel like you can say that because you have been in that position to be challenged with those thoughts. You know, for me, it's like I couldn't even find an.
Yeah, it doesn't even calculate yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it was full term. Like,
Yeah,
it's a lot to process.
because
Literally
you form such a deep bond just from the journey alone.
Yeah. I think it was 2 days before his due date. Then I still had to deliver him naturally on his due date.
Knowingly.
Wait.
Yeah.
So he passed while
He passed while he was in my stomach, and then I went to the hospital. They did a scan, they did the heartbeat, they did everything. By the time that was done, I was like, it's clear, like there's no life. But they just kept on trying different things, and they were touching my stomach, doing all sorts of things, and I was just like, just tell me, you know. And then they sent me home. And then they told me I must come back the next day to be induced. So I was induced, and then the day after that, I now went into labor, and then I gave birth to. Well, I pushed him out on his due date. Yeah.
Do you think you ever stop grieving, or the level at which you grieve just reduces over time?
That's a tough one.
So
I feel like I'm always aware of his absence, but then again, I've told myself that I think he is one of like my guardian angels, because he's automatically an ancestor now. So it's like, if I've got him as a pure baby, then
yeah.
he's with you.
yeah. So I look at it that way. It is like a bit, sometimes a bit tricky, but for the most part, I don't dwell in the sadness, and I don't cry anymore. Yeah.
Do you feel like?
I'm crying now.
I feel like crying now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like this is with grief. Thank you for sharing. It's like we can all feel it, right? Do you feel you got support from your environment, from
Heavily, like from the moment I found out, and my mum made calls to like my friends and her friends and like people who are like family, because we don't have much family here. Like, by the time I got home, there was people in the house.
Wow.
And they were there throughout. I think until his funeral, this happened in April, until his funeral in May, there was always people in the house, like steadily. There would be at least one extra person at the very least.
I love this about our cultures.
Yeah.
It's the unspoken things that are just
just
second nature when you need it the most. Right?
Yeah.
And I think for me, when you are grieving, just people being there, just the presence. Sometimes you don't have the words to articulate what the feeling is, but just having that extra person that's there that makes your life a bit easier.
Yeah.
You don't have to talk about the actual pain, but them just being there for me, I think makes a whole lot of difference.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Well, when I was experiencing grief, because I am like, I left my families, I left my community, I left my culture, kind of, right? And 2 years ago, my father had passed away. It's actually his birthday today.
Happy heavenly birthday.
Yeah. But I felt like a little bit isolated of that, because it's the same in my culture. And I felt like when things were happening, being a parent, having, you know, certain reality to your normal everyday life, certain struggles, certain things you're overcoming, and then something like that hits. And it's like you don't actually have surrounded yourself or established like a safe space of a community that was genuine, that was, you know, what you would have needed. So I felt like it's beautiful to hear like that you had that, because how do you lose a child, right? It's you always there's understanding in losing someone mature who's lived a life, but when you're letting go of the fantasies with someone, there's you know, it's I can't fathom, I can't imagine. But it was missing that, I feel, like I was kind of stranded here in a failed relationship with one too many children in my mind at that moment, because I just didn't know where to direct myself with grief. And it was like, I don't know, I feel like I'm still grieving. It's 2 years, but there is still so much like coming up here, coming up there, giving me room to process, giving me room to cry, to release, to, it's almost like the biggest mountain I feel like I'm climbing with grief is that sometimes you have to give, for me, I had to give like new meaning to so many things that in my mind had settled and solidified, and it was like normal, especially since it was my father, and from the youngest in my family, it was like my big love. So a lot of things that I had understood, that I found appreciation in, or I settled in a certain ways of doing, knowing that it would make my father happy. It was like a weird thing within me that I didn't even understand was there, that moment that when I let go of his presence, or I was like trying to make moves to let go of the presence, I was realizing, but then I don't have meaning here. But then I don't have meaning here because it never was about me, The weirdest stuff. And it's like, it still happens where I'm like, what do I actually want? What is it that orange would like, or what orange would need? And I'm tearing up actually, because it's so core. It's like the foundation, the root. And it's like such a beautiful, on the flip side, a beautiful opportunity to rebirth, because you're grieving something that was once and that now is anew.
Yeah.
And it's as beautiful as it is, it's not something we choose. Sure. Grief is the one where it's taken, or it's like, it's like cut off.
Sudden.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
You don't get
just
to choose. Yeah.
Yep.
what just happened, and then you're processing that, called grief. And I feel like based on that experience of my life, I was able to attach that to other things that I had similar sensations of, but based on like friendships, where I was like, whoa. And I'm like, oh, whoa, this is very similar in the how it feels. This is also grief.
Yeah.
And then when we elevate, and then we're like, oh, we're not like this no more. But we used to love being like that, but it's just not serving us no more. And then we get sad about it, and we're confused. And we're also grieving here. So it's such a big spectrum phenomenon, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because I think for me, the most grief I have felt is relationships that I've outgrown. And that no longer serve me. And I think it's all the hopes that one had for those relationships.
Yeah.
And then getting to a point where I'm no longer the same. And therefore, in as much as this hurts, but it's also very necessary for my own growth, for the other person's growth as well. And I think there's something difficult about grieving people that are still alive.
Yeah.
It's a very hard experience to be like, you're there, but our paths are just no longer aligned.
Yeah.
And I think it does come up every now and then. And the biggest lesson in the past 2 years was for me to let days be what they are. So there have been days, I think particularly my first year in the UK, where I'd wake up and then my heart is heavy. And I think a friend one day, she saw the state I was in, and she was like, and I didn't want to go to the office. And she was like, today is going to be a hard day, but you're going to go to work, you're going to go to the office, you're going to do what you need to do, you're going to show up. And I think the lesson is just being graceful on those days and allowing them to be what they are. Because my natural disposition is to bulldoze to the positive.
Yeah.
It is, my disposition is to, let's cheer up.
Yeah.
And the biggest lesson has been, today is hard, and that's okay.
Yeah. Yeah. We've got to give ourselves grace.
Yeah.
in facing an experience,
Yep.
isn't it?
Yeah.
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 We were talking about this morning. Like,
We were
we got to be our own
Allowing-
friend
yeah.
in this.
Yeah.
allowing yourself to feel everything that does come with the letting go, and allowing yourself to still stand firm in, the things that are core for you.
Sure.
And I feel like what had really led to our discussion is having a grievance of self, a grievance of, because the last couple of months have really been a season of realigning with my own personal core values, realigning with the things that genuinely make me feel good, the things that genuinely make sense to me, that in all my years growing up, I was told, don't question that, don't do that. You know what I mean? To the point where there was many years that I spent then doing what was right, but always feeling best out of it, you know?
Yeah.
So now being in a space where it's like fully immersing
Yeah.
in the what's right for me.
Yeah.
There's the continuous battles, sometimes daily, that feel like a grievance,
Yeah.
and then there's still the fight of no, show up, because you're still showing up for the part of you that needs to be,
Yeah.
that has to do the moving on, that has to do the life is going to go on,
Yeah.
and it's challenging.
And I think it's hard when you hear life goes on when you are deep in your grief.
Yeah.
Or early on in your grief.
What the frick do you mean?
Yeah. It sounds insensitive to
do
be
you
like,
mean?
what, life goes
I was
on?
like, what?
Not really.
It does, but it does.
Yeah.
It
It's
does.
the heaviest thing to hear, but it does.
It almost
Because
sounds like
each
a
and
judgment, though.
Every day is time going by in itself.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think it's because I think for me, it's when you allow the hard days to be hard days and you allow yourself and you sit in the feelings that are, when you feel lighter, you really lean into it because you're like, oh, it doesn't hurt that much anymore.
Yeah.
And like you realize how far you've come with something.
It's a moment of celebration.
Yeah, it's a little moment where you're like,
Little moment.
I was not in one place, because it's easy when the heavy day comes to be like, I'm still there.
Yeah.
And then you're like, but you're not. In reality, you're really not. And that's why I was asking if grief for you has been like the same, because it evolves. And I think when we do have the grace in between, you sort of get to the other side and you sort of get to acceptance. And the relationships still matter, but you don't cry and fall apart over them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I hope so.
I think another thing I struggled with was, at the time I had certain friends, and then as life went on, I was like falling out with these people. And there was elements of me that was like, but I can't not be friends with them. They were there for me when I was grieving. They were in my house. They were cooking. They were cleaning. They were making sure, have you had a bath? Like, are you okay? Do you want to go for a walk? Da, 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 da. Do you need anything? So I was like, wow, how do I let go of these people? Because like they were there. So it took me some time to even let go and grieve those friendships, because
friendship
I
grievance is
felt,
so-
yeah.
Yeah.
So I felt like, how do I like accept the fact that this
No
friendship
longer
is
serving
not-
you.
I think
That's hard.
In-
That's hard.
in many difficult friendship relationships that we've had, there had been times of great mutual empowerment and support. There's seasons,
Yeah.
right? Because I had similar, lived certain experiences with certain people where I thought, I don't really want them around if this is how things are. And it's about accepting how things are, with yourself as well as what you are witnessing. And being like, but there's been these moments, there's been these experiences, this is how we're linked, and this is what we're share, and this is what we used to speak about, what shall happen in 10 years from now. But I don't feel right about this no more. So it was like a little person on the shoulder trying to pull you back from freeing yourself completely of the nonsense. And it's like, I feel like once you do that and you see how great you feel on the other side, it becomes less hard and less hard to do again. Not to say that you will not grieve that. I think there's a moment it hits and you're like,
yeah, but you become familiar. It becomes a friend, right? Like emotions eventually do become
yeah.
friends. So we can say to them, "Hi, why are you here today?" You know, and then we can sit with it, opposed to it overriding everything that's going on in our lives, and you know, becoming the dominant force for us. We can eventually be like, okay, and then give the grace to keep doing whatever's necessary, and even if that's being still. Because I think that's another thing. We are always told to keep going, but sometimes be still.
Sit in it.
Sometimes go lay down in your bed for hours.
Sit in it.
I support you.
This is part of the process. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I feel like people like to measure what's valid to do that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Definitely.
But it's your own personal feeling. If you got to be with it, however it needs to be.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I think the one thing is with the relationships that you've outgrown, the longer you insist in staying, the bigger the fallout.
Oh,
No, when
the
my
fallout
life
happens, it's one of those things where you say, I could have avoided it.
Yeah, long time
It
ago.
hurts.
I had one
time
where
ago.
someone was coming for my character. She was coming for my character. And I was
like,
like,
where's this
bro,
coming from?
is this an attack or are we just simply ending the friendship? Because now, like, you're coming for me. Like, it's like
That's
you
the
want
end
to
of
hurt
me.
me.
That's the end for me.
And I was like, wow. And
It's shocking also when
yes,
you go
it
through it,
makes
you're
you
like,
think,
what?
no, this is what you've always felt about me.
But
And
it's
now
not
the
true.
moment has arisen for you to now be
Punch.
this way.
Yeah.
And I think that's why I've learned to be open-hearted about my relationships. And it's something that I've had to learn because if I love you, I love you.
Yeah.
And like, hey, we're doing,
Yeah.
be it friend or whatever. But like, I value the people that I value.
Yeah.
But I've had to learn the fluidity of relationships.
Yeah.
That today
exist.
we're on the same page and I need you today and you're uplifting me, you're telling me to go bath and all of that. You're serving your purpose and it does not change who you are just because we fell out.
Yeah.
Yes.
The biggest thing my mom has said that my grandmother passed to her is don't forget what people did for you, the good things that they've done, just because today they're not being kind. It doesn't erase what they've done.
Yes. Yes.
And so also the open heart relieves me of the heaviness of
Yes.
being like, but they were there for me. So now I can't let go of them. It's like, no, right now it's no longer serving us. So I'm going to let it be.
Yeah.
And if life happens later on and we reconnect,
Yeah.
I'm open to that.
Yeah.
Because we keep growing. So letting each other grow.
Yes. And if at some point we were in the same frequency and we got along,
Yeah.
I do think at some point we'll be like, you again. And then you reconnect.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we get better at accepting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love that actually.
There are some people I've made up my mind about though. Not even gonna lie.
I'm never going back.
There's
You
some
know what?
people, yeah.
Never.
There's some people where it's X. It's X, yes.
I have too, but at the same time, I feel like life can always make you see more. We're them people. Like,
And also,
even if we say no,
Yeah.
and life will be like,
but look,
Yeah.
but then
like,
you know what? I feel like that's a
you know what I mean? Like
healthy-
just little push.
like you said, it's a healthy way to allow yourselves to have the time and space needed to grow individually.
Yeah.
Do whatever's needed within your lives without becoming a burden in each other's lives, without becoming resentful of one another for being when you're just being. And then eventually saying, hey, actually that season weren't for us, but here we
we
can.
are again.
I think, it's funny because there's some people where I am definitely like, I don't think I ever want to. But when I really think about it, the love I have, I'm like,
Because I don't
Let's
think
see.
the love goes away.
The love
it's
don't.
It's just like right
just-
now this is not working.
I can't give it to you. Yeah.
As a Cancerian.
Or actually, I
it's a
can, and this
definite-
is the love. The love is letting go.
Don't know.
As a Cancerian, nope. There's no love back.
Chomi,
No,
what do you mean?
there's no love back. When I'm done, I'm done.
The thing is, you may think that way, but I think life knows better and knows what you need. And I think
And sometimes it
that's-
can be that
that's
person.
where life has sort of humbled me in a way to be like, you got to stay open because life is long. And being decisive about people and be like, oh, this is done, it's over, doesn't work like that. Life has a way. And I think it's the allowing ourselves to come full circle
Yeah.
in our relationships, and hopefully get to a place where we understand why it didn't work. And we understand how to live life alongside each other, whether you're there, like the thing of if we're in the same room, we'll greet, we'll do whatever.
Yeah.
Small talk. We'll see how that relationship eventually.
Yeah,
sort of
don't
evolves.
force it to
the
ever be.
openness.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't have to force it.
Yes.
But be open to it.
Yeah.
It's a
It's love.
And even if you tried again to open another,
She's not buying it.
no, but even if you did,
I would love
try
the day
to.
that maybe it happens and then maybe we revisit.
If it happens with any of the people that I say nope, I'll let you know.
I would love to know.
Yeah, I'll bring you feedback.
Yeah, but I feel like even
But I
if
feel
you,
like you would also be more equipped as well to handle whatever had caused the
rift.
yeah. And then maybe even build more transparency and build more like, because you know, like some people you can be like, you freaking annoy me, like you get on my absolute nerves, but I really love you, and it's the same, and it's like it's real. I really love you, but then we also know now we have boundaries.
yeah,
There's some things where we just shouldn't, and there's some things where we can.
yeah,
And then I think sometimes that's what that does. It creates that.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, I've had a recent relationship that's circled back, and we've circled back into a space of just awareness of each other and what can and what can't,
Yeah.
you know?
Because that's the whole point of, I guess, drifting apart. You
Yeah.
grow. And then because you know each other really well,
Yeah.
if life wills and you get back into each other's lives, you know each other a bit better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, for
you
real.
know when someone has started, you're like, started. And then you know what to do to yourself.
If you
that
need
it
to
doesn't
retract.
affect
Yeah.
you as much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
I've had a situation where there was a very, very long-term connection, a friendship, sisterhood, that fell out quite. Don't know if it was as ugly as it could have been, but ugly enough, like I couldn't see it coming. And then a few years later, we revisited, and in my head, I was very open, right? And thinking, oh, if you revisit, then possibly because we have aligned again.
Yeah.
Right. And I've come to realize, yes, certain things were kind of out of sight, not as important no more. But I also realized that this person probably was from how the conversation went, because it did not go full circle to come to, oh yeah, let's embrace each other again. It was more one where old ways were brought up and tested again, almost as if the person was hoping that I would have felt regretful.
Succumb to them.
Yeah.
but did you?
But see your
what
awareness
was the
being so
feeling-
beautiful.
What was the feeling that you had? Sorry, my love. When you experienced that you're not coming back full circle,
I was in
did you
full
get to
acceptance.
Because I
Fully.
think that's the thing. Coming full circle doesn't have to look like we're back together.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
can look like, hey, I'm fully letting go
But
of this.
I was
Yeah.
letting go.
That's okay.
I was
Yeah.
letting go in the beginning, very fully in acceptance, and this person less. And then years later, revisiting, I was still in full acceptance. Even saying, you know what, certain things haven't really shifted, and it's absolutely fine, as we don't really have to be the way that we used to be.
Yeah.
And the more I was
And it's
on this
okay.
frequency,
Yeah.
I would be like hearing more irritation, which was the initial root and reason why we had to
Because
separate.
that was one that
'Cause
needed
there
to
was-
go.
Yeah, there was
And
an
I feel like sometimes we
entitlement.
can be tested in our connections as well, because some people take you back to where you don't want to be in yourself.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But it
So
was
that-
a self that was there before, so it's something that I felt is very rightful for somebody to make sure, because maybe they have to still witness
Yeah.
that kind of evolution.
And
You
then
know,
see
because
it's
they're like,
possible.
someone can't really shift and change that much.
Yeah,
But
because
yes,
some
you
people don't
can.
believe in change.
And,
Yeah.
and I
Yeah.
think your point is valid. If people are trying to bring you back
Yeah.
and solicit the same attributes,
Nonsense,
whatever
patterns,
you
yeah.
have outgrown, and then, and then when they don't get that, they're like, "Why is she not responding the way I want her to
Yeah.
respond?" So that this is a fight, and you're like, "We're not doing that." And I think that's when you get to acceptance of, yeah, it was for a reason initially that we drifted apart, and here
It's
we
still-
are again.
Yeah.
I tried. I was open to
And
it.
you leave unscathed.
Yeah.
And so do they.
Yeah.
If
Same them.
anything, you've both achieved whatever wasn't necessary in the moment, but we're okay now. Yeah.
100%. Let's bring this into the grievance of self. You know, the different seasons we had, the fantasies we've had on the person that we would become, the things that we would have liked. And then when that changes, how you...
I want to know what's going on in your mind. Again. Have you noticed a couple of times?
Okay. Because I think I've had many versions of myself.
Yeah.
And I think that's the hardest grief you have as a person, the self, where it's nothing outside of you, but accepting that you're no longer who you thought you'd be. And I think part of it is also letting go of people's expectations of what you should have been. And then allowing yourself. I think it's such an intimate, intricate thing to go through.
It is.
It's also the realizing this is winter because our lives also come in seasons. And again, it is to have the acceptance and grace to be like, right now we're losing everything, we're shedding, we're going through the absolute most. And then again, it's going to have to be grace to be like, I'm going to get through it. I'm going to get to the other side and trust that life has better for me.
Yeah.
But the process itself is messy.
Oh.
Yeah.
It is complicated. Sometimes we take 10 steps back and then one step forward, and we cheer when we take that one step forward and then 10 back again. And so it's such a messy process.
It is.
The
It
grieving
is.
of self.
It's like your foundation is like falling apart.
Everything you fall apart.
Everything.
Yeah.
You shed.
Yeah.
You lose yourself. You become a shell of everything you thought you were. And I think the in between, you don't know whether you're coming or going.
Yeah.
Like it's
It's a
horrible.
constant questioning. Am I actually doing what's right for me?
Yeah.
Because that feels unfamiliar, but then the familiar doesn't feel so good when
doesn't
I'm
feel
there.
comfortable anymore.
Yeah, so it's like
Yeah.
the unfamiliar then does start to feel a bit good. And then eventually it's like a dance where, you kind of, okay, and I'm back over here and I'm, okay. Then you know what I mean? And it's like eventually you're like, actually, this is cool for now.
Yeah.
And what comes with, you then begin to build from there.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it is
And the way that you
something.
confuse your environment, because you will try so many things.
Oh, Lord.
And they'll be like,
Yeah, real
I
experiment.
swear you are standing for this. But we also like are still testing how it feels over here, or testing how it feels over there. So our environment will be very confused as to
Yes.
who are you?
Yeah.
Who
And you
are
don't
you?
even
What
know
are
what
you
to say because
doing?
it's like, today,
Yeah.
I think I'm this. I don't know yet tomorrow, but I have this on my list.
Right? Like I'm this, but my to-do list looks like, and it's going to confuse you if you see it.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I feel like there's a beautiful thing of integrating as well. When we do integrate the past versions with the becoming or the
Yes.
current,
Yes.
and it's like a whole, so this is still real and this is still very true, but this truth also exists.
Yeah.
And now they merge, and it's like I get it. But I needed the
beautiful medley.
experiences from you, from the
Yeah.
past you,
Yeah.
to make it.
Because one of the best things I've heard was that we add to ourselves. Like, so all the other versions can still live and coexist with the future self
If we allow it.
if you allow it.
Yeah, yeah.
And that makes the grieving of self much better.
Yes.
Because you're not losing yourself, but you're allowing yourself to evolve in a different way.
To bloom. Yeah.
That's okay.
To bloom.
It feels like you're losing yourself.
It does. It
No,
feels
no,
like it
because
goes
I feel like
matches.
in the time of evolution, it's like you can't really access what you know, which is what feels like you're losing it. But it's just in the moment, it's rebirth season.
Yeah.
So you're not meant to be doing the same thing. You're meant to be doing something else. So it's not available.
And I think it's when you no longer can say what you know for sure. That in between is horrible.
It is.
It is because your foundational stuff, your values, and all of that, all of them now are in question.
yeah,
And you're like, which one am I keeping? Which one am I dropping?
Yeah.
Which one actually means a lot to me? Which one means a lot to the people that were around me? And your entire ground is probably shaking.
Yeah.
But I think the stuff that is important stays with you.
Because you choose it, isn't it? You define it as important, and then you can always bring it back.
Yeah.
It's like a team with self. But this
is.
aspect of grieving self, I feel like for women, we have so many seasons we're forced
so many
through.
parts to grieve.
Men's too, but it's the ones that you don't necessarily initiate.
Yeah.
That you just now it's your time, and then you just have to wing it. in that side of things or that ways of things. And I remember like before having my children, I always thought I'll be like this hippie mother living on some farm somewhere in Africa and, you know, growing everything and just, I don't know.
There was a vision.
There was a vision. I
Yeah.
thought like I would be growing everything, cooking it, and like not really interacting with supermarkets and just very grassroots life. And then having the children and trying to initiate that and looking on where to go, where to move. I'm homeschooling. I was plant-based, already starting to just have like root vegetables, like everything I could actually grow, trying to create this. And then feeling from when that shift then happened, because it was like an overnight thing. And I was like, actually, I don't know if I want to be isolated. I like the big city. Actually,
This can work along with this.
business, opportunities, like everything just shifted. And it was just like, it took me, I think, a couple years to feel confident enough to share it with the world that I'm now not about this no more, because there were so many friendships based on this, so many things that were initiated on having this as a common preference and high-fiving each other and saying, we're going to do this.
Yeah.
But it's an individual journey. And then you change. And it's like, I don't mind having a farm, but I don't want to be
I like to have the option
isolated.
of.
Yeah. And then like meeting yourself again with stepping into opportunities, making friends based on who you actually are, what you actually value on the other side of those shifts. And then I feel like still like grief itself, like it comes revisits you in different parts, seasons of yourself where you are more equipped and less equipped to face it, you know, and be like, oh, this as well. Like, I'm not about this no more. I have to give something, like I have to fill that spot, you know, like unlearning and learning and not just having courage to do it, but feeling proud to do so whilst you're walking through a society that will try and take you apart for that very thing, because it's not something deemed to be, you know.
So maybe you were just seeking an element of freedom then.
Yeah,
more than
always.
anything.
Yeah.
It's about the freedom, not necessarily that you needed to be isolated or on that farm and da da da.
Yeah.
Of which I think you probably will end up on a farm.
Yeah. The thing is, your
With the
dreams-
balance. With the balance, yeah.
The things that matter to you, I think these things will find you eventually.
Again,
later.
maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because also there's the dreams that we have for ourselves,
Mm-hmm.
and then life,
Yeah.
and life will do whatever the hell life wants to do.
Yeah.
And what
And
needs
I think
to do.
this has been my biggest life learning, that life will do what it needs to do. So I need to be in step with life.
Yeah.
And that makes the grieving of self a bit more bearable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To be like, hey man, this is where my life is leading to. And I think the thing is just to trust that it knows what the hell it's doing.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
it's coming to me to, because I feel like what it is you reach a very, like you get to a point where in exploring that version of self, you pinnacle, you get to the highest point of what that could really look like. And then you have to seek the freedom, the radical self-acceptance, the radical, okay, there's more in me. How do I let it out? And then when you go there, it's almost like what we experience in our realities, it can feel a bit more like a crucifixion, right? Because everything attached to the old version of self then comes to try to, no, it's the opinions, it's the expectations, it's the, you know, it's the everything, literally from every
Justification.
direction will come to tell you, don't you dare. Don't you dare. Whilst in yourself, you have to have that radical self-love to be like, actually, I know, and you give yourself proof, because the mind will play games too.
Sure.
Then you give yourself proof of, actually, remember this is true. Why is it true? There's solid proof. Keep going. And then the more you keep going, you enter a whole new paradigm. But then that paradigm, it's a rebirth, isn't it?
Yeah.
The crucifixion might come again.
And I feel like the more acceptance, absolutely agree, the more acceptance we have, the more grace we have for ourselves, the more change we invite.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes. Change is a constant.
Yeah.
It's like we're just
Yes.
figuring out how to introduce this change, and then it's
The
almost
next
like,
thing happens.
yeah, because we're not meant to settle for anything.
I just got there.
I feel like we're meant to be a consistently
Evolving.
evolving
Yeah.
species.
I agree.
You know?
As humans.
Accountability plays a huge part in
Oh, talk about
growing
it.
and evolving.
Yes.
Like, definitely accountability. I think that's why a lot of people who don't hold themselves accountable tend to just be in the same old pattern of things because there
Because
isn't
it's
that
something else
reflection
doing it.
Yeah, because
Mhm.
I think
Yeah.
accountability is a huge
Because
deal.
to your point, your environment can change, but I think there's intentional change that needs to happen internally.
Yeah.
Because you can easily find yourself doing the same things in a different environment. And so the accountability, the self-reflection allows you to then lean into what is and what is becoming better.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think it's a good break that we had. It's the hermit phase. We all had it, right?
The hermit, right.
Where it's like a moment where you just need to be on a blank slate existence, not dealing with anybody, not with anything, just in the zone. Like basically, it's like we sit in our shadows, we sit with the experience, we reflect, we have all the time we give ourselves, and then we come back out into the world when it's the winter.
Yes. Yes.
Call it
The
winter.
Yeah, I love that.
Hibernate.
Yeah,
Yes,
hibernating
yes.
is a necessary season,
It
I
is.
think.
It is.
Even in
It's where the
Africa,
transformation really happens.
yeah,
That people won't understand. Because
yeah.
it's
You can't even
internal.
articulate it.
No. I cannot tell you why my belief has changed, but just know the experience caused it to do it, and you have to live it to do it.
And it's necessary.
Yeah, yeah,
It's the questioning, it's necessity.
it is.
From
It is.
people more than anything. It's like, I feel like it's the biggest challenge in everything is having to justify it to a people that is not you.
Right.
It's like I think I could do a lot of random, weird, questionable
tone of
things
voice
with
of
myself.
Random.
If I didn't have to
It's about right.
No, but because like it's open end, anything's possible in a way.
Yeah.
But it's like having to explain it to the people that love me.
Do you have to?
Yeah.
Yes,
Sorry.
unfortunately, because I feel like
sitting on the fence on
we
that.
exist.
I am.
No, listen, because this is why I feel like I am so adamant and being like, it's all about transparency. Because if we don't share, then we're not really allowing another to be stimulated. But like the
appreciate
purpose
that
of
perspective.
duality doesn't really unfold because it's not about them having to agree. It's not about them having to smile or cheer you on, but it's about like, there's no shame in
Yes.
the existence.
Letting them know.
And the
Yeah.
best way to pay respect
Yeah.
to the divine, to myself, to the intentions in me is by nothing to hide. I'm gonna be transparent. I'm gonna allow another to see if they have it in them to embrace it, or if there must be cues, obviously, for their interest or the opportunity to speak about it. I won't force someone, be like, I need to tell you about this right
Yes,
now.
yes.
I
I'm not
used to.
dragging you to the. I'm not dragging you to the forefront.
I'm not. I used to though. My Virgo used. Yeah. And then people would feel very triggered. They're like, "But I am nothing about this." I'm like, "But you're my friend." And I want you to know the things that like boom my world and
Yeah,
that
but
are
then you-
shifting
yeah.
my thoughts. And they're
Yeah.
like, I'm offended because now
Yeah.
I have to
Yeah.
defend myself and my
Yeah.
position because you're now opposing me.
Yes.
And I was doing a lot of opposing things. Like,
There's a
I
lot of
think
energy.
two
It
different.
sounds.
No, but
but do you know
always-
what it can be when people around you are not receiving the evolved you that's happening that you're trying to share. It is very energy draining to then explain yourself.
Yeah, yeah.
So for me, the fence comes with. I feel like what I've gotten comfortable more so with is sharing openly.
Yeah.
I share, I write, I post. Do you know what I mean? Like I live in the truth
Yeah.
that is different. And so either you can see that and maybe go, hey, why would you da-da-da, and we can have a conversation, but I'm not coming to you.
No. I'm
And
not
I
saying.
am not, and depending on how you approach me,
I'm saying
I
not-
am not explaining it.
Not come out of your way, but you might be.
It depends.
But you might be in the same space with someone that you can imagine could really do with that exposure or that inspiration, even though in the moment they might not be mature or ready for it, but it might be a seed planted. So if you are
so the
in
seed is the experiencing.
Yeah, because sometimes people, in how they experience you, can take the life lessons. You don't have to actually talk about it and talk through it.
yeah,
The seed will be planted nonetheless.
yeah.
So,
Yeah, no. I agree. Like, I think I have come way less in projecting, because that's what it is as well. It's a projection.
Yeah.
But reading body languages, and
Yes.
because I am that.
Picking up the sensitivity.
I'm a life path 7. Like, I don't
Yeah,
ever
you don't have a care in you.
fit. No, but I don't ever fit. But I have
That's a good way.
received feedback from people that had heard on the sideline and then went with it, and something happened for them. So I've just realized that within my purpose is about sparking things, starting things, and a lot of times people are not even aware about what's about to happen.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. Yeah. You know, so I just read situations to be like, if there's a room given to exchange.
Yes.
You know, sometimes I just listened as well, but it's the thing of a lot of people sometimes don't even know about the things that are out there to ask about. You know?
that's fair. But as I said, on my side, I am very much on the just be. And people will catch up with you.
Yeah. That definitely
My
works.
expression is the truth.
Yeah.
Why did you do that? Oh, I can tell you the story about it. And I can get deeper about it. So you can really see into the processing, you know?
Yeah.
But then to sit down with somebody, it drains me.
Yeah.
And I've had the point of having the back and forth.
Yeah.
And then leaving feeling really sad.
Yeah.
Because my friends don't get me no more.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, they love me. I feel the love, but they don't get me. And that's really depressing. So
Yeah, but it also reveals alignments and reveals
It does.
because environments where you can do that and you're embraced and received the way that it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
Or that it can be enjoyed.
Yeah.
Are the places to keep closer and to you know, and the ones where things pop up, it just reveals itself to be something outdated. I think
It does.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
So, given that today is the day, like is it the anniversary of
It's my dad's birthday.
Yes, sorry. His birthday. How do you feel now, having been to Germany and him and his absence, and then now coming back?
So surreal. So surreal. I've only been back once since his passing, and it was to like a memorial season day. We've got all these like 6 months, 1 year marks. So this time it was nothing to do with my dad, just visiting my mom and seeing other people, coming across some people who didn't even know of his passing yet. It was just a bit odd, but I felt like I've outgrown a lot of the heavy stuff, you know, and I could look at situations standing in a way instead of, you know, your knees get weak and you just feel like, oh, let me just crumble up and be in this corner.
Proud of you, man.
It's great to be witness of self and growth,
Yes.
you know. But yeah, it's been an interesting day. It's very fluctuating, I feel, but it's love. Love is not meant to be something linear and, you know, not surprising. And yeah, well, good.
Okay.
Thank you for asking.
Yeah.
Good on you.
Proud of you.
My loved ones, thank you so much for coming today and sharing this transparency space, speaking on grief, on our evolution and our reflection with grief. Please, all of you, thank you for watching, for tuning in. Please take part in the conversation in the comments. You can ask all of us anything you want about this or share your experiences. We're all in this together. It's about being transparent to heal our hearts and plant seeds with all of you to feel more encouraged to be your true selves every freaking day. Thank you for being with us. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you for Haven Studios, Haven Talk Studios for the space. And yeah,
Closing out.
Peace and love.
Peace. And we need a song now.
Oh, no. Wait.
Oh.
Can we go back? Big up our hats.
Yes.
I love how you've added this part as well.
Can you guys,
Dope.
because I can't pronounce her name. Our
Noma?
beautiful
Noma
hat
Kosazana.
designer.
Noma Kosazana.
Noma Kwasazana.
Yeah,
Noma Kwasazana. I'm gonna tag her in the comments below.
They feel like little crowns.
Yeah.
They have a
They
warm
look
Love on your head.
I have so many people stop me and ask me about these ones. So
so cozy.
Shout out, big sis.
Shout out.
much love. Bye.